Recognize Senator Suzanne Bonamici.
Thank you, Mr. President. I trust you've all read the entire bill. Colleagues, I proudly rise in support of Senate Bill 989A, a bill that creates maps for redistricting the Oregon House and Senate for the next decade. I remember the day, Mr. President, that you appointed me to chair the Senate Redistricting Committee. It seems like it was a long time ago. I have to say, several years ago, I had a giant jigsaw puzzle out on my dining room table. It was all in pieces. It was one of those several thousand pieces, and my father-in-law walked by and said, "You'll never get that done." And colleagues, this challenge was a bit like that, like putting together a jigsaw puzzle, except with a redistricting plan, there's not just one way to get it together. There's an infinite number of ways. Well, the state of Oregon really has been a puzzle, but in this case, Mr. President and colleagues, we did it. Working with the House Committee, we traveled around the state. We held hearings both live and by video in La Grande, Bend, Baker City, Medford, Coos Bay, Tillamook, Beaverton, Portland, Oregon City, Gresham, Eugene, Corvallis, and Salem. And we video conferenced in many other locations. Many people came and testified, and many more submitted testimony in writing. It was encouraging to see so many Oregonians become engaged in the process. In many, if not most of the hearing locations, they encouraged us to find a compromise within the legislature and fulfill the task we were assigned. Committee members then started drafting maps. After a bit of a difficult start, we began finding common ground. We decided to make the minimum number of changes needed to balance the population in a way that would be least disruptive to our constituents. We started with the existing maps, and then we began to shift the population. As many of you know, most of the growth was in three areas: Clackamas County, Washington County, and the Bend area. Accordingly, the districts in those areas changed as they gave up population to other districts until they reached as close as possible to the target number for equal distribution. And across the state, from eastern Oregon to parts of Portland to southern Oregon and all along the coast, the population over the last decade did not keep up with the rest of the state, and those districts had to gain people from adjacent or nearby districts. For those who are wondering, the target population for Senate districts is 127,702. We're pleased that after a respectful and productive process, the Senate and House redistricting committees send to you a consensus plan for legislative district lines for the next decade, honoring our constituents' trust in us to redistrict the state in a fair, nonpartisan manner. The map that is reflected in Senate Bill 989A moves fewer people into new House or Senate districts than either of the initial proposed plans. The Oregon statute provides that, as nearly as practicable, the plan not divide communities of interest. We worked hard to abide by that requirement. The map also follows logical political boundaries like school districts, county lines, urban growth boundaries, and city limits, varying, of course, where necessary to adhere to population requirements. Additionally, the Oregon statute provides that we not draw a district for the purpose of diluting the voting strength of any language or ethnic minority group. For the first time ever, Oregon has a majority-minority district, that's House District 22, which has a majority Hispanic population. This map has also created a minority opportunity district in House District 57, and that's Senate District 11 is now 46.8% minority. House District 57 is now 51.07% Hispanic, and I believe that's House District 22. House District 22 and House District 57 is a minority opportunity district. House District, excuse me, I'm going to straighten that for the record. House District 22 is the majority minority district, and House District 57 is a opportunity district. Additionally, concentrations of Asian and African American populations have been maintained or strengthened where possible. As I explained, there's minority opportunity districts, House District 29 and House District 57. House District 29 is a 41% minority population, and House District 57 has a 35.2% minority population. So overall, colleagues, is the plan perfect? Is everyone satisfied? Well, the answer is no to both of those questions, because every time there's a change in one place, it impacts another. Members of the public and members of the legislature testified that they wanted to keep certain areas together, or that they wanted a district to be drawn a certain way. I know that I speak for all the committee members when I say that I wish we could have accommodated all of those requests. But that was impossible, in part because of the need to balance the population, and in part because sometimes there were conflicting requests. But colleagues, I believe that Oregonians will be proud of this map, a map that has come out of a bipartisan process. I want to especially thank Vice Chair Telfer and House Co-Chairs Garrett and Lindsay, and all of the committee's staff and members for their hard work and professionalism throughout the process. Please join me in voting aye on Senate Bill 989A. Thank you, Mr. President.